I still remember the sound of her heels that night, sharp, confident, echoing through our small apartment as if they owned the floor beneath them. Madison always had that kind of walk, the kind that turned heads wherever she went. I used to love it. I used to feel lucky sitting there watching her get ready, knowing she'd always come home to me. But that night felt different. What if the woman you trusted walked out and never really came back? She'd say she was meeting a friend from work. No name, no details, no real eye contact. Just that vague tone people use when they've already decided you don't deserve the truth. I didn't press her. I'd learned that asking too many questions only made her defensive. And honestly, I didn't have the strength for another fight about trust. She stood in front of the mirror, putting on lipstick like she was painting armor across her mouth. Her phone buzzed once, lighting up with a message. She quickly flipped face down. I caught a glimpse, a heart emoji. That was all it took. My stomach twisted, but I stayed silent. "Don't wait up," she said casually, like she wasn't walking out on a relationship she'd already checked out of long ago. I nodded, pretending I was fine. But what if locking the door was the start of unlocking your freedom? When the door clicked shut, the silence she left behind felt heavier than usual. It wasn't comforting. It was suffocating. I sat there for a long time, staring at the door she just walked through, realizing how easy it had become for her to leave. Fridays used to be ours. Music, wine, laughter, cooking side by side. But those nights had vanished, replaced by her scrolling through her phone, half listening, smiling without meaning it. I don't even know what shifted in me that night. Maybe it wasn't anger, just exhaustion finally catching up. I got up, walked to the door, and locked it. Not to spite her, but because something deep inside me whispered, she doesn't live here anymore. Hours dragged by. Midnight came and went. I sat by the window, watching the rain blur the street lights. Every passing car made my chest tighten, wondering if it was hers. Every sound in the hallway made my heart rise, then sink again. At 1:47 a.m., I heard her key scrape against the lock, but it wouldn't turn. She tried again and again. Then came a soft knock. "Ethan." Her voice was calm, uncertain. I didn't move. Another knock, louder this time. "Ethan, open the door." Still, I stayed silent. She sighed, her voice rising, frustrated. "Come on, this isn't funny." But it wasn't meant to be. It was meant to be real. For once, I wanted her to feel the weight of the silence she'd been giving me for months. Her knocks grew desperate. "Ethan, please. It's raining. Let me in." I walked to the door, looked through the peephole. She was soaked, makeup running, clutching her purse like a shield. For a second, I almost opened it. Almost. Instead, I said through the door, "You have a key. Use it somewhere else." Silence. Then a shaky laugh. "You're joking." "No, Madison. I'm done waiting." She banged harder. "This is our home." "Was," I corrected. "Now it's mine." I heard her slide down the door, sitting on the wet floor outside. Her voice cracked. "I didn't do anything wrong." "Then why hide it?" I asked. She didn't answer. Minutes passed. The rain kept falling. Finally, her footsteps faded as she walked away. I didn't sleep that night. But for the first time in months, I breathed easier. The next morning, she came back. Dry clothes, tired eyes, the scent of someone else's perfume had started to fade. "Can we talk inside?" she asked. I stepped aside. She walked in quietly, glancing around like she didn't recognize the place. Maybe she didn't. Maybe I changed it just by deciding I wouldn't beg anymore. "I didn't go out to hurt you," she started. "It wasn't what you think." I said nothing. "It was just dinner," she continued, her voice trembling, "a friend from work." I needed to clear my head. I almost laughed. That was the problem. She'd been clearing her head for months, and somehow I was always the one cleaning up afterward. She sighed. "You locking me out like that? That was cruel." I met her eyes. "So was everything you didn't say." Her mouth opened, but no words came. The silence between us was heavy, but honest. For the first time, we weren't pretending. She sat down, her hands shaking slightly. "Do you even want this marriage anymore?" I thought about who I'd been when we met. Hopeful, open, ready to build a life. And the man I was now tired, wiser, lonelier. I wanted us, I said softly. But I can't keep building something you keep walking away from. Tears filled her eyes. I didn't mean to make you feel like that. Maybe not, I replied. But that doesn't change that you did. The pause that followed was the kind that ends things. She stood slowly. So what now? You already left, I said. I just finally locked the door behind you. Her lip trembled. For a second, I saw the woman I'd once loved. The one who smiled easily, who made every day feel like a beginning. But that version of her was gone, and holding on to a memory wasn't love anymore. It was self-punishment. She nodded, wiped her tears, and whispered, I guess I deserve that. Maybe she did. Maybe we both did. When she left this time, she didn't slam the door. She closed it softly, like even she knew this was final. I stood there for a long while, listening to her footsteps fade down the hall. Then I exhaled. The kind of breath that feels like it's been trapped inside you for months. That night, I didn't check my phone. I didn't scroll through old photos or reread messages. I just sat in the quiet and realized something simple. Sometimes love doesn't end with a fight. Sometimes it ends when you finally stop waiting for someone to come home. Weeks passed. The world kept turning. The sun still rose. And slowly, the parts of me she dulled began to sharpen again. I changed the locks, not out of bitterness, but because I didn't want to live in a place that reminded me of waiting.